All right, everyone. I'll tell you what, this is kind of a crazy time to be recording because non-farm payrolls and unemployment hit right at about 25 minutes actually away from right now as I record this. We'll find out if the market absolutely loves or hates the information that it gets, and we'll watch where it goes from there. I will say I'm watching for the 200-day for SPY and QQQ. Should we head to the downside, I'm watching for all-time highs if our numbers move us to the upside. Instead, I can tell you that in the pre-market hours, the market wants to be bullish on this thing. And so, well, I do too. I gotta say, I'm still net long in my positions. I do have some short hedges out there, and fingers crossed that we actually get a good non-farm payrolls number and a steady unemployment rate number, because then the market could take that pretty darn well. So I do want to give some updates in this video. I'm going to go over some of the indices stuff. I'm going to go over TMF, which I think actually has some pretty neat things to it. So if the market does happen to like today's news, we'll see what TMF does. If the market hates it, that could be wildly exciting for what we have over a longer term. So I'm going to share that with you in this video. I'll even give some updates on those penny stocks that I talked about so much, those best penny stocks to buy now, especially if the market goes green on today's news. So without further ado, by the way, guys, over in the Discord, you guys can check out all of this. You can talk to me throughout the trading day, and the other panel experts are over there, and StockMo, a whole team of us together supporting you financial freedom and towards building alpha in your portfolio. I'll tell you more about that later. In the meantime, here we go. We got QQQ. Pre-market, like I said, loving it. We'll find out. You guys watch this video and we'll already know the results of non-farm payrolls and unemployment and pretty much how the market's going to digest it. So in the pre-market, up a little bit, not so bad. The 200-day on this thing, if I put up the simple moving averages, we're up above the 20. Good. The 200-day is all the way down right now at about 495, 496, and we still have this gap back here to fill. So if we get news that we don't like so much, I'm absolutely watching for that gap fill. If we get news that we do like, especially if unemployment somehow drops and non-farm comes in strong, then 540.01, that's the line up here that I'm looking at in order to hold tight and actually break through. We got darn close to that. We're under 2% away from that. We got that big old rejection yesterday, leading into the nervousness of today. SPY, I'm still, like I said, for the 200-day or new all-time highs. The 200-day happens to be about 575. Should we head south on this thing? And near term, there is a bit of a rising wedge kind of pattern that we stayed inside of, not broken out of, so not confirmed for SPY and QQQ. You can kind of see a little bit of that crude shape of it here, but like I said, we'd still be inside of that, not outside of it, not confirmed. We do want to watch for that, though. It could be something concerning. We also have that reversion to the mean that we could be watching out for. So if we head to the downside on bad news, I'm watching for 576 coming out of that. And I can replan and give you further commentary once we know what those numbers are. And if we break to the upside, 611.39 is the number that we're looking for. We got big area of rejection yesterday at 599, just south of that $600 mark, which I said could be significant resistance for us. IWM, man, there's a lot drawn on this. I actually updated the technicals on here so you can see the areas of resistance. I'm really hoping we go bullish because I think that we can still put in that nearly 20% upside on this one if we can sit on top of 510. So not only do we have the candles reacting, but we have all sorts of Fibonacci retracements, extensions, and the price action itself all happening in this same area, just north of the 200 days, a big fat area of resistance, especially right around 216 with a little bit more right around 220. And then we have another band in there from 226 to about 228, and then a couple of stops around in the mid 230s. And then finally, just south of our price target of 248 based off the inverse head and shoulders, if it gets confirmed, 243 up to 246. If we sell to the downside on this one, I'm watching the 50-week on this, the 50-day, right around 198. And there's all sorts of stumbling blocks down along the way for support that we can find for the Russell 2000 stocks. I do believe when it is their time to shine, they will be in the outperformance category, which I believe as of this morning, let me check for this video here, we were in, according to the futures market, we're still in outperformance territory, up 0.54%, whereas SPY and QQQ, or I should say the S&P 500 futures and the NASDAQ 100 futures are rocking about 0.4, and then the Dow Jones is in the last place right now at about 0.3. So moving over to BTC, what are we looking at for there? Well, guys, if we don't break back up above 104 at 324 because we go risk off, we are down below the 5 and the 13 already. Let me just show you the EMAs on this thing. Down below the 5 and the 13 already. The market wants to be bullish, so it wants good news to come out at 8:30. If it does, I think we're going to go out and we're going to surpass those all-time highs. For Bitcoin, I think we'll break that 112,000. We got to sit on top of the 5 and the 13 first in order to get there. And like I said, the nearest thing that we're watching for is the 104,324, which is this line going right across here, along with this ray that you see also going across your screen. We actually broke down through the head and shoulders pattern. If we hit our heads on this, we'll go much further south. We'll probably see 97, 98,000. And if we break through that support, we're going all the way down to about 92,000, all the way down to about 88.5. So we have to watch and see what we get with that news. If you look at gold prices, even they are saying right now, hey, let's put ourselves right in the middle of support and resistance on this. Matter of fact, I can turn this one green. I don't know why I left it red, because we have exceeded it. We have confirmed it as support for us. And you guys can see that for the other ones that we have down here as well. So those gold prices, this is XAU USD looking at the spot gold prices. And so far, there it is, hedging itself, saying, hey, we're ready. If we see any sort of weakness coming to the economy or we sniff it out, we're going to go back and retest this 34.73 line that we have here, and that goes all the way up to about 34.94, and probably break through it if it goes weak enough, or if instead we see that strength, we can head back down towards that 3,300 level, that 32.81, and that goes down to about 32.57. Then we have a bit of a free fall area down through there to watch out for. So now, guys, I'm going to talk to you about TMF, and well, like I said, it could have some long-term potential, especially if we hit a pocket of weakness, at least as per those reports, what we could see in the near term and the longer term for it. And I will also provide further commentary over at the Discord. Links in the description. 50% off your first month sign up if you use code word DOCTOR, DOCTOR. Not only do you get to see my analyses, my technical analyses, my buys and sells, but also you can interact with me and the thousands of community members that are over there, the other panel experts that are over there. Stockmo is also over there. Crypto Will, if you like crypto so much. Focusing on that, TMF Permabull is over there, studies TMF pretty much exclusively. Well, I should say bonds exclusively, but TMF being in there, one of the big favorites that are out there. And then, like I said, just a whole team of experts there to support you in your process, in your journey towards financial freedom, building alpha in your portfolio. It is the best community they've ever been a chance to be a part of, and tons of products and services there to also support you beyond the people that are over there supporting you. Use code word DOCTOR when you sign up for that earner tier to make sure that you get unrestricted access to everything that's available to the community members. Also, in the description, if you want to learn about trading options, like I use quite a bit, and then also how you can learn technical analysis so you understand the impact of the things that I'm saying here, and how you can use the technical trading strategy called the bread recipe to inform your trading and really up your trading game. That's in the coursework down in the description through Stockmo Academy. He's a personal friend of mine, and I'll tell you what, he has put together some top-notch materials and a strategy that I personally use, all in some very tightly put together courses. Very easy to understand, very small, easy to digest pieces with demonstrations, and there's a learning community that goes along with that as well. It has its very own Discord. And guys, when you sign up for those courses, use code word DOCTOR. You're going to have a massive discount on that. Bundling the course is going to save you even more. So let's jump over to TMF. We'll take a look at this. And first I want to talk about his monthly chart, because you can see the prices on the monthly chart as we're looking at this, making that slow, steady decline. But when we look at the RSI, we actually have a bit of a slow and steady rise. That's volume. Here comes the RSI. There we go. You can see that rise that we're taking out as the prices come down. This is actually bullish divergence that we're watching take place. And while we're so while the sentiment is so negative on long-term treasuries, U.S. treasuries, that actually brings in that contrarian view and that potential where maybe we get to that overshorted place for U.S. treasuries. And then that also can lead to something like TMF finding its day in the sun, where it starts to put in those outperformance metrics and takes that bounce and starts to head back up. If we unwind this thing a little bit out to weekly, we're still down in bearish territory like we are in the monthly RSI as per that momentum. So we don't have that full evidence yet. We're also down below the 20 and the 50. The 20 is down below the 50. That's all bearish as we're looking at it. But we're looking for those times of opportunity. And you can see a couple of weeks ago, we actually had a very indecisive candle followed by the price action moving up from there. That's a bit of a bullish sign when you have indecision. This is a decision being made, but we don't have the volume conviction in it yet. And that's also important to point out. A volume conviction move would also be good. And then also some other signs of moving up above those simple moving averages. If I put up the EMAs for a moment, On the weekly, we are sitting down below the 5-week, down below the 13, down below the 50. Once again, bearish. If we can overtake the 5, that's the first bullish sign that you'll see with these indicators. Up above the 13 next is even better, getting them to cross a bullish crossover, and that's always the faster moving average up over the slower moving averages. That's more bullishness that we're looking for. If we unwind this a little bit more down to the daily side of things, what do we see? We see the 5, which has crossed over the 13, which is a bullish sign. It happened yesterday, as a matter of fact. In the market, we see that move up, softening, selling down a little bit. So that is the first move that we have. It might be leaning into those longer term trends. The RSI having just crossed over 50, it'd be nice to see some continued movement here if we're going to get it. So if the market does decide to go risk off, I still think that long-term treasuries could benefit from this in potentially in outsized ways. So guys, I'm going to give just a small cap on those penny stocks just to give an update. I did say if the market goes up, the penny stocks should move up in outsized ways. If the market goes down, the penny stocks are probably going to suffer in outsized ways. And yesterday, man, we ripped down hard. Those penny stocks took it on the chin. Ocugen performing like a champ. So this video I know is getting kind of long, so we'll just go through these quickly. Pacific Biosciences, PACB. As we look at this one, still needs to get back up above that trend line solidly, and it's also losing its moving averages, the 5 and the 13 exponential moving averages. Look at those high wicks. This one is still on my list of best penny stocks to buy now, but I'm showing it first because it's in trouble right now, but not necessarily out of the game. The play's not alive yet. We want it to turn alive, but it has to be up above those moving averages, and we need to get them to cross faster, up over slower for those bullish crossovers. Moving into Beam, this one, take a look at this. Let me put this up here for you. I said that if we drop below this trend line, that it would drop off my list. I'm going to remove its green flag. I'm going to shift it down. I'm going to keep it on my overall list of just penny stocks that I look at. It's just I'm going to take it off the list of best penny stocks to buy now. Maybe it can redeem itself, but for the moment, it's out. Let's look at QSI, quantum stocks, trying to recover a little bit this morning. We'll see if the market goes back to risk on. Right now, this one also falling up, but staying above the 50-week. And if we put up the simple moving averages, we actually retested the 20-week. We might still get that golden cross. This one is absolutely still staying on my best penny stocks to buy now. This is QSI. Once again, I'm going to move Ocugen to the end because even with yesterday's sell down, it still moved up anyway, and it's moving up still more in the pre-market. Recor making about an 8% move, still wanting to have time to shine. I said we could possibly move up to 185 to 189. We hit my price target of 161. I'm going to move it off to the left to show we found that resistance broken at 122. We found support at 140. We hit the price target at 161. Yesterday, market was a bit rough. Today, recovering a little bit in the pre-market hours, up, like I said, about 9% in that pre-market time. BBAI, still one of my best penny stocks to buy now. We actually have the 20 above the 50, above the 200, and we actually sat on that 20-day yesterday during that rip down, that sell-off that we had across the entire market. BBAI was no exception to that. Even though it broke outside these trend lines, fine, might have a little bit taking it on the chin. Daily momentum's good, weekly momentum's still good, monthly momentum's still good, everything's still perfect there. Longer term, even if we have those near-term pullbacks, I might actually grab some shares of BBAI and actually add them to my portfolio rather than just messing around with options with them. I do think that there are brighter days coming for it. We just need to watch and see. Maybe today is even one of those days, but I don't have the information. We're about 11 or 12 minutes out from this point in time. And then finally, Ocugen. I said we were up above the 200. Watch for the next day. Look at that volume move that we got the next day. And I also said watch up here for that $1 mark for that resistance. And guys, that's exactly what we got. Was that resistance in the $1, trying again to sit on top of it. If we get rejected again, that's not great. But that volume conviction move that we got yesterday is one of the reasons why right now it's top dog in my list of best penny stocks to buy now, up about 1% in the pre-market hours. We need to fear this resistance, though, at that $1. If we can't get on top of that, this thing's going to double, triple, top, whatever. That's 3 different tests of the $1 mark with rejections. If it can't get on top of it today, it might just sell down. But we do have the 20 coming up on the 200. That's a bullish thing. We have the 50 also coming up on the 200. That's also another bullish thing. And like I said, it's really good to see that momentum come into it. This is one I absolutely wouldn't mind holding directly in my portfolio from a high risk stance. Matter of fact, if I can snag a few shares under $1, I just might do that. And then I always have those I can sell calls against to make them cheaper over time as well. So there we go, guys. That's what I have for you. Check out the link in the description. Come on over to the Discord, talk with me and the community members, see what the other panel experts have to offer over there as well. Yeah, it's a great place. It's a great time. Remember, it's yours for the first month, 50% off using code word doctor. See what you think of it. I think you're going to find that you love it and that you'll be there for quite a while. Also in the description, check out those courses. Code word doctor works all. It doesn't work the same way. You get, because it's only a one-time fee for those courses. You buy them once, they're yours forever, but you do get a massive discount on those courses. So bundle the courses and use that coupon code, that discount code of Dr. DOCTOR, and that's going to give you the maximum savings on that coursework as well. Let me know what you think of those penny stocks, the market, TMF. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.